Good morning. Oh, good morning. Livingstone. Good morning. And welcome to a very, very special day at the Library of Congress. I'm Carla Hayden, and I can't tell you how excited we are because today we are celebrating literacy and learning and reading, and we couldn't ask for a better person and an organization to collaborate with today. Today, our special guest is an advocate for books and the power of the written word for children. We are honored to have here at the Library of Congress multi-award-winning artist and philanthropist, Miss Dolly Parton, and the Dollywood Foundation's Imagination Library. I think it's time to clap. Now, I want to, and I would be remiss if I didn't introduce some special guests in the audience, the wonderful staff and the leadership of the Dollywood Foundation led by Mr. David Dotson. They have been wonderful to work with. And there's Mr. Dotson. We are delighted to have members of Congress, members of the Washington City Council, our various and wonderful partners in literacy and collaborators, and of course, our generous donors who make so much possible. Because today we're all here as cheerleaders for books and learning. Now, I have to tell you, when I started as a children's librarian, I remember being inspired by a young woman who was on the south side of Chicago, and her name was Judy Zucker. And when I first walked into that branch library, she was on the floor having story time with children with autism. And where books and reading can take you. And today we have young people who will join us to have some fun with books. Now, Miss Dolly Parton has been recognized many times for her dedication to the power of learning. And for more than 2 decades, her Imagination Library has helped hundreds of thousands of children worldwide, giving them high-quality books to own, no matter what their family's income. And in 2014, she was awarded the Best Practices Award from the Library of Congress Literacy Foundation. So today, we are so pleased that we will be part of a milestone. The Imagination Library is about to give away their 100th millionth book. That's so many I can barely... 100th millionth book. And we are humbled that that book will join with millions of others at the Library of Congress. That book will be given to us today. So when the foundation started 23 years ago, the first books were distributed to the Tennessee county where Dolly grew up. And now it is a worldwide phenomenon. So without further ado, I'd like to share with you a video about the Imagination Library.
Dolly Parton's longtime passion project, passing on the gift of reading. The NewsHour special correspondent for education, John Merrow, has the story.
Most of you are probably familiar with Dolly Parton, but to some, Parton is more than a country music star.
Everywhere I go, the kids call me the book lady.
The thing that makes Dolly's Imagination Library unique is that the books come by mail. Right there is a kind of a thrill, you know.
We send these books to them in their little name, with their name on it. They look forward to going to the mailbox. This is theirs. This is mine. So I am going to either learn to read it or I'm going to make somebody teach me how to read it.
Each child receives 60 free books, one every month until age 5.
I think it's so important for kids to develop a love of reading early in life. I have a 2-year-old myself, and watching her just explore the world through books, it's amazing. So she doesn't even have to leave her bedroom, and she's checking out different cultures, different cities, different countries.
By enjoying a book, the imagination is engaged automatically, and whether a reader identifies with Ladybug Girl or another character, the reader sees themselves beyond their world, and the Dolly Parton Imagination Library offers a bigger world to the readers that they give books to, and what's better than that?
I think what we are about is the emotional tie to books, that if children love something, they will continue to do it.
Puff, puff, chug, chug with the little blue engine. Then you look to the right and then to the left.
The value of reading to children is well documented. Kids who have books in their homes and are read to regularly are more likely to succeed in school.
It really started out as a very personal thing for me, and it was originally just meant for the folks in my home county because of my dad.
I think it is an incredible thing that Dolly Parton's Imagination Library has grown from 1,500 books a month to 1 million books a month. 1 million books a month. It shows two things to me. One, that there's a need for an organization like the Imagination Library, because if there are that many kids who are not getting books, who want them, it's incredible to have this place where they're able to get the books out. And that's the second thing to me, is that it's an organization that's so well run that they can do this. I can't imagine shipping out 1 million books. I mean, I can barely get my kids' lunches packed for school, and this is 1 million books a month. So it's an incredible thing, something to be proud of, and we're really happy to be part of it.
A love of reading is instilled by a child getting their own books. There are programs all over the place, but this program has been so successful and just continues to be brilliant.
Yeah, I think it's amazing that Dolly's foundation has gone from mailing out 1,500 books a month to 1 million. That's incredible. I feel like most people, when they start something like this, it kind of fades away after a few years, but she's just continued to grow it, and she's doing just great work with literacy.
As Dolly said, the purpose of an Imagination Library is so children will dream more, they'll learn more, they'll care more, and then they'll be more. Can't beat that.
And the first step is the one that's always hardest. But you'll never really know if you don't try. You have to try.
And now, please welcome multi-award-winning singer, songwriter, and philanthropist, Miss Dolly Parton. Standing ovation.
Thank you so much. Hi there. Wow. Well, hello to all of you. Hi up there. Well, it's nice to be here just in this wonderful place, D.C., and certainly here in the Library of Congress. What a beautiful building you have
It's
here.
been called the most beautiful building in Washington, D.C.
I think
And
they're
so
probably right. This is beautiful.
Well,
And it's a beautiful day for us, and I'm just so happy and excited to be here. I was watching that little film back there on the little phone they had, and I was watching all that, seeing how all these things have happened through the years, and I'm just so proud and so honored to be here today with you.
Well, we're honored that you're here because, as you know,
You wanna
we're
sit?
all about books. Would you like to sit?
why
I was going to
not?
ask you a few
They've
questions.
seen us.
They've seen us, and they know, because I'm interested, and I know a lot of our guests are interested in just how all of this got started. What inspired you to create this? This is such a program.
Well, actually, the whole idea of
Yeah,
the Imagination Library,
Library.
I guess everybody has their story, and a lot of you may or may not know that much about me personally, but I grew up in the Great Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee, and I grew up in a very large family. There's 12 of us kids, and my dad was a very hardworking man. He grew up in a family of 14 or 15 kids, and my dad never had a chance to go to school, and Daddy couldn't read or write. But he was the smartest person that I've ever known, and so I wanted to do something special for him. As the years went by, I saw how he thought he couldn't learn to read after he was grown. It was just one of those things. And so I had the idea to do something special for him. You know, in the Bible where it talks about honor your father and your mother, I don't think that necessarily means just to obey them. I think it means to bring honor to their name if you can. So I got my daddy involved with this little program. I wanted him to feel like he was part of something special. So we started the Imagination Library, where we were giving books to the children in our home county, in Sevier County, where we were born and raised. And so we'd hoped that it would do good there. And it became such a popular program that the governor of Tennessee at that time, Phil Bredesen, he thought the idea was so great, they took it, it went all over Tennessee, and then later it went on into Canada, and now we're all over the world, in different parts of the world. So my dad got to live long enough to see a lot of it coming to be, and he took such pride in the fact that the little kids called me the book lady. He was prouder of that than anything. So that it started from a true place in my heart, and it's done so much good for so many people through the years.
Well, how does it feel to be called the book lady? I mean, you do so much, and you sing and you write and everything, but you're known so much as the book lady.
Well,
did you ever think about you'd be the book lady?
No, that never crossed my mind when I was growing up, because I personally didn't like school. I mean, I never would have thought that I do more homework now at night working on all these programs than I ever did in all the years that I was in school. But I never thought about being the book lady, the painted lady, yes. The over-exaggerated, overdressed lady, yes. But that just goes to show you that you can't judge a book by looking at the cover, right? Or even the 100 millionth book by looking at the cover.
That's right, you can't tell. So you love books and reading. So were there books that shaped you, or you've had favorite books? What?
Well, we didn't have books in our home because there were so many of us kids, and Daddy told us not to bring books home because kids just chew on them, pee on them, and do whatever kids do. So he said, I can't afford to, pay for books. So we didn't get to bring books home, but the one book in our home was the Bible, and my mother used to always read from the Bible, tell us all the Bible stories, and so that was actually the first book that we had in our home, and the one that meant the most, and that has actually followed me more than any other book through my life, actually.
And you keep reading it.
I do. In fact, I love to read. I have tissues everywhere. And I need one right now. All this weather coming, it's hot one day and cold the next. But anyway, I love to read, and I do whatever, it takes to. But I actually loved, just anytime I was in school, I loved all the fairy tales. I wanted to read all the books about the kings and the queens and all the traveling. So books have always been really a special thing for me.
Now, with your busy schedule, how do you make time to read? Because you are still performing and doing so many things.
Well, I always take time to read. I think everybody that does love to read, you'll find the time to read. I do some of my best thinking when I'm reading, if you know what I mean. I read probably at least 52 books a year. A book a week I try to read. And so I've just always been a reader. But there's a part of my brain that kind of can think of other things while I actually am reading. But it does relax my body, and I've just always loved to read, because I think in books I think with kids too, with the books that they read, it kind of inspires you to dream. And, you know, if you can dream, that'll lead you to success and to other things. And I think that's why I think it's so important, you know, to get the books in the hands of all these special little kids so they can start early and go late with them. Yeah.
And they love it. So you make time for reading, and does any of the reading help you with some of your songwriting and some of the things that you read about?
These are good questions, and yes, it does, because I'm really inspired by just people in general, just like the little kids. So a lot of the things I write, I have a children's CD out called I Believe in You, and a lot of the songs from that were inspired by the books that are in the Imagination Library. And The Little Engine That Could is the first book that we give out in the Imagination Library, and I think it really just talks about how to build confidence and to know that you can if you think you can. So I really am inspired by just looking at these faces today. I'll feel something or think something, and who knows what idea that it might trigger in me later on to write a song about. Because when you write, it's, you know, you just kind of just go by feelings and what touches you and how it touches you, and then you just find a clever way to put it into a song.
And you mentioned that sometimes the books can inspire feelings and things in children, and I know that you started the library because you believed in what books mean and could mean to children. I know I've seen it happen, and I felt it as a child. What do you
Well, you of
really
all
feel
people would
about
know,
it?
because
Right,
you've been doing this for how many years? You said long before you
too
got here in
long.
this beautiful building. You've been,
Yes,
you
but
were
I
a
remember
library-
the books that inspired me
Yeah.
when I was young, and you believe that too. That
Yeah, I do. I really think that we're inspired by everything, and children themselves inspire me. I'm sure they do you. That's why you've wanted to work with children, because there's such, you know, there's just such a world in every little child. There's a whole world, you know, and they're going to see it, and they're going to make things come true in their little world, and they're going to add to the world as they see fit and according to their talents and their little personalities. That's why it's so important that they learn to love books and learn to read and be inspired by that, because just like with my dad, see, my dad couldn't read, but he really was smart, and he picked up on things. He was very intuitive. But it's my belief that if you can read, even if you don't have the money to go to school, you can, especially anymore, you can just, you know, you can find a book. If you can read on anything that you want to know, you can self-educate yourself. You can always go to college even. You can pick up those kind of books. Even if you can't even get outside your house, you can find a book on any subject, and you can educate yourself to where you can know about things and actually just increase your intelligence and your just the whole world around you, and inspire other people with that.
And what about owning a book and saying, this is my book, and it's got my name in it?
That's the thing, that's what I love about the Imagination Library, because that was one of the things we thought was so important when we first started it. And so we wanted the little children to have that book. They get a book. For those of you that don't really know the whole thing, I guess they talked about some of it. But children get a book from the time they're born. They get a book a month until they start kindergarten. They're 5 years old. And so we send the book in the mail with their name on it. It's not in care of mom and dad. It's got their little name on it. And they love to think, this is mine, this is mine. They wait at the mailbox, they get their little books, and to them it's personal. So they're going to take that in the house, and they're going to make somebody read it to them, because this is my stuff, my stuff, my stuff. It's like, so I really think that has been a real important thing, because they also share it with other kids. And we're just so happy that we're such a part of that. And of all the things that I've done in my life, and there's been a lot, because I've been around a long time, but this is one of the most precious things and the proudest I am of any program that I've ever been involved in my life, is working with the little kids.
And you should be, because after getting a book a month, they're going to have their own little library.
Yeah, they do.
In their houses. I mean, this will be their library and their books, and they can pull them out.
And they love that, and they love sharing that with kids.
You mentioned, though, that sometimes you get letters that talk about what happens after they're not in the program.
Yeah, actually, we get a lot of letters when the kids are in the program. We get letters all the time from parents and kids. But some of the sweetest letters we get, in fact, I'll never forget the first one I got was from a little boy that had graduated from the Imagination Library. He was 6 years old, and he was really bummed out about it. He was really mad because he just wanted me to continue to send him books, and he just thought, well, this is just not fair. This is just not right, that I can't continue to get my books, and that's how important it is to them. And so I think, well, I wrote him back a real sweet letter and explained, you know, how we do it, and that's why he was being prepared, because he was using his mind to think about all that. And so we get a lot of sweet letters, and we treasure every one of them.
You should, and then he can get a library card.
Yeah.
Learn to do that. Well, did you ever think, though, that you would get to 100 million books when you started? I mean, that's phenomenal.
Not when we started. Like I said, it was a very personal thing when we started, and I just hoped that it would do good in our county. And so then, as I mentioned, it just grew and grew and grew. But at that time, it was just really something I was doing for my dad and for the kids in our home county. But thank the Lord, you know, he was good. And now we've got, you know, like David Dodson, who is the president of the Imagination Library right there. Stand up there for a second, David. He's the one that, he works so hard. And he makes me look really good. I take a lot of credit for a lot of work that David and all these wonderful folks at the Imagination Library, they do, because they really are out there. He travels all over the world, making sure that all these wonderful things happen, making sure that, you know, that all the things that we brag about can happen, and I just get out and talk about it and do my part. But it's always like that with anything that you're proud of. It takes a whole bunch of people to make things happen, and really we owe the real thanks to the communities and all the people that participate, all the organizations that really get involved, and they're really the ones that are making my dreams come true. But it's just one of those things that everybody takes a lot of pride in, because if you're doing something with children, I mean, how can you not feel good about that? Look at them. Hi there. Hello. So anyway, it's a good feeling all around. It's a win-win, as they say.
Well, as I said at the beginning, we are so honored that the 100th millionth book
That's a lot of
will
books.
be given to the Library of Congress for our youngest thing.
So I
We
guess
have an unveiling.
well, wait, I just want to say how honored I am before we pull that little thing off, that you have taken this to heart, and that you've taken this in, and that we will now have this book that I can actually have here forever for all the little children all over the world, certainly in the United States of America, here in D.C. It's a wonderful place to have this, but hopefully through the years, we have 1 million books so far, and maybe we'll be back for our billionth book.
All right.
One of these days. Wouldn't that be nice?
Yay,
So you want
so
to see
let's do
our
it.
little book there?
It's a beautiful
Yeah.
start,
So
and
here's
there
our-
it is. 100 million
And there's
books.
someone else. This is the coat of many colors, which is the little story, actually, that this lady right here, let me mention her name.
Yes.
This is, I said, what's your name again?
This is the person who drew
Yeah,
the
she actually
pictures.
illustrated this book, and we appreciate, your name is Brooke Hughes, and Boynton is why I was trying to say your middle name. But anyway, she illustrated this, and I hope you had as much fun drawing this as I did writing it.
Oh, I did. It was such an honor to be a
Good.
part of the project, and I loved getting to illustrate your beautiful song.
Well, everybody loves it. Well, this little song is so important to me because my mother, I was talking about my dad. My dad was very important, but my mother was one of those people that to have 12 kids and to kind of make them all feel special with no money, but she had all the love in the world. And it's about the little story about, she told me the story about the Joseph and the coat of many colors when she was making me a little ragged coat that I really needed because it was getting wintertime and I needed it. So Mama made that, and she just had the foresight to give me some pride in it, to tell me the story about the coat of many colors. So this little book is really more than a story, and it's more than a song. It's about love, it's about attitude, and actually it's turned out to be an anti-bullying book. They even use this in some classrooms to talk about anti-bullying, and I just want the kids to know that it is okay for you to be how you are and who you are. It's good to be different. We can't all be the same, But we have to love the difference and accept the difference in each other too. So that's kind of what this little book is about. It's just about love and understanding. So thank you.
And thank you. And I see you have the coat here.
Yeah, well, this little coat is kind of a little replica of the little coat that my mom made for me. Because people used to send us big boxes of scraps, because Mama used to make all our clothes and the quilts for our beds and the curtains for our windows, and she usually made them out of scraps that people would send to us. So this little coat she just didn't have enough of one fabric to make me a coat. And so that's why she used the pieces, and that inspired her to tell me the story from the Bible. So that's what this little coat, and this little coat, just that little song and the story has lived forever. We even had a couple of movies on TV about the little coat, and they got good ratings, so it really shows that people are about family, they are about love, and it's good to kind of feel that warmth and that love, and about parents, because this day and time, we don't have enough family stuff. There's so much stuff going on out there that little kids I love being able to touch the kids and tell them stories and for them to feel what it was like back then. But it's really how it should be now, with as far as the love and acceptance and understanding of not only just others, but your parents as well.
Well, we have also a special announcement. The Library of Congress is partnering with the Imagination Library, and to celebrate the program and what you're doing, the last Friday in every month is going to be a special Imagination Library Storytime.
Yay!
And they will be available, and so it will be live streamed to libraries throughout the country. And so people can participate. And we are delighted that you have agreed to kick it off and actually read right here and start the Imagination Library Storytime at the Library of Congress.
Well, I can do that. I guess you want me to read the Coat of Many Colors book, right?
And we'd love for you to read this book.
Are we going down?
I think we're going to go down because
okay.
we want to be a little closer.
Oh, there you got, okay. I think they're going to have me come down there, so I'll be
We're
around
coming
there.
on down.
Now, you be careful. You hold on to me, and I'll hold on to him. Okay. Hello. Hello. Hello, kiddies. You want me to read a book to you? You do? Well, I'm gonna.
Well, I'll keep
Okay.
this.
I got to get my book lady glasses on, though, so I can see them. How's that? Do I look like the book lady now? Hi. Okay, this is called, it says Dolly Parton, that's my name. And what's your name? Well, nice to see you, Sammy. Okay, this says Coat of Many Colors, and it's got the little girl, that's supposed to be me when I was little, and wearing her little coat of many colors. So, let me see, let me find my real page here. So it starts with all these pretty pictures of my mom and my dad and some of my brothers and sisters in here. So it says, back through the years I go wandering once again, back to the seasons of my youth. And I recall a box of rags that someone gave us and how my mama put those rags to use. There were rags of many colors, but every piece was small, and I didn't have a coat. And it was way down in the fall. So Mama sewed the rags together. She sewed every piece with love and made my coat of many colors that I was so proud of. And as Mama sewed, she told a story from the Bible she had read about a coat of many colors Joseph wore. And then she said, I hope this coat will bring you good luck and happiness. And I couldn't wait to wear it. And Mama blessed it with a kiss. So, with patches on my breeches and holes in both my shoes, in my coat of many colors, I hurried off to school just to find the others laughing and making fun of me in my coat of many colors that Mama made for me. In my coat of many colors that my mama made for me, made only from rags, but I wore it so proudly. And although we had no money, I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me. And so, with patches on my breeches and holes in both my shoes, in my coat of many colors, I hurried off to school just to find the others laughing and making fun of me in my coat of many colors that Mama made for me. And I couldn't understand that, because I felt I was rich. And I told them of the love Mama sewed in every stitch. I even told them all that story Mama told me while she sewed, and why my coat of many colors was worth more than all their clothes. But they didn't understand it, and I tried to make them see that one is only poor only if they choose to be. It's true we had no money, but I was rich as I could be in my coat of many colors Mama made for me, 'cause Mama made it just for me. The end. Ta-da! Did you like that?
On stage.
Okay, so there's your coat of many colors. Oh, okay. I'm going to go back up on stage for a minute. Let's see. Okay. So
the
here we
song,
are.
too.
After Hayden, I got to that part. I thought, well, why not just sing that little part in case they hadn't heard that?
Well, not only will the Library of Congress have the 100th millionth book, all of the young people here today, you just heard the wonderful story. You're going to get your own copy of A Coat of Many Colors.
Yes, you are. And you can read it.
You are going to take it away with you as you leave. And you're going to have a special CD, something that you can play with the music, and you can hear Miss Parton's voice too. So we're so glad you could be here. And remember, reading is fun.
It is.
Reading
Library
is important. So we have the book lady and the library lady.
Yes, we do. Thank
and a
you.
new partnership
And
with the
thank you,
Imagination
too.
Library. Thank you, everyone.
All right,
We're
are
going
we
to give
heading
the
out?
books, we're going to head out, and we're going to give out books.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you so much.